What if the secret to doing more was actually doing nothing? In this video, you'll discover why intentional stillness restores your mind, boosts creativity, and protects you from burnout. And it's not just my experience, it's backed by philosophy from Aristotle to the Stoics, and science from Harvard research on rest. Every Sunday, I do something most people would call nothing. I don't plan, I don't push, I just rest, and what happens? Monday feels like a fresh start. Tuesday, what I call my Super Tuesday, is full of energy and creativity. But by Thursday, I'm tired again, and by Friday, I'm drained. That cycle taught me a truth we often forget. Rest is not a luxury, it's fuel. Aristotle called balance the essence of a good life. The Stoics warn that ignoring our limits leads to suffering. And modern science agrees. Studies show that intentional stillness restores brain function, improves focus, and even sparks creativity. Yet in a world that glorifies the grind, we treat rest like weakness. So in this video, I want to challenge that lie. Because the hidden power of doing nothing might just be the key to unlocking your energy, your creativity, and your peace of mind. We live in a culture where being busy is worn like a badge of honor. The longer the to-do list, the prouder we feel. But have you noticed? Despite working harder, many of us are more exhausted than ever. We confuse busyness with progress and hustle with happiness. Social media amplifies this illusion. People brag about 5M routines, endless productivity hacks, and never-ending hustle. Yet behind the highlight reels, burnout is quietly spreading. Studies show chronic fatigue is now a global epidemic. And it's not because we're lazy, it's because we've forgotten how to truly rest. And here's the paradox. The harder you push, the less effective you become. It's like running on an empty tank. But what if the solution isn't another hack or routine, but something radically simple? In the next part, I'll show you why the real meaning of rest goes far beyond sleep and why doing nothing might be the most productive thing you can do. Most people think rest means collapsing on the couch, binging a series, or scrolling until you fall asleep. That's not true rest, that's distraction. Sleep restores the body, yes, but rest restores the mind. Neuroscience shows that in moments of stillness, our brain shifts into slower waves that actually regenerate neural connections. This is when creativity sparks, when memories consolidate, when your nervous system resets. Ancient wisdom already knew this. The Stoics practiced daily reflection. Buddhists taught mindfulness, and even Aristotle argued that contemplation was the highest form of activity. Rest, then, is not passive, it's deeply active. It's the space where your mind repairs itself. And here's the twist. If you never enter this state, no amount of sleep will make you feel alive. So if rest isn't just sleep, what is it? True rest is the art of being fully present without demanding anything from yourself. It's not numbing your mind with entertainment, it's creating space for your mind to breathe. Imagine sitting quietly with no agenda, letting your thoughts rise and fall without judgment. Or stepping outside, noticing the breeze, the sky, the sound of life around you. That's not wasting time, it's recharging. Neuroscientists call this the default mode network, the brain state where ideas connect and emotions regulate. Ancient traditions called it meditation, contemplation, or prayer. What matters isn't the label, it's the stillness. Doing nothing means intentionally stepping out of the constant grind and allowing your body and mind to reset. And maybe right now you're thinking, but my mind never slows down. I could never just sit still. That's normal. Stillness feels like a challenge at first, because we've trained ourselves to always be distracted. But here's the truth, you don't need to be perfect at it. You just need a simple way to begin. And in this video, we show how to calm your mind and step into this kind of rest, even if it feels impossible right now. When you give yourself permission to do nothing, something incredible happens. Your brain switches into a state scientists call the default mode network, where connections form. Creativity flourishes, and problems you couldn't solve suddenly become clear. Think about it, your best ideas rarely come when you're grinding at your desk. They come in the shower, on a walk, or during quiet moments when you finally stop pushing. Stillness also lowers stress hormones, balances your emotions, and strengthens resilience. The Stoics practiced daily reflection for this very reason. And modern psychology confirms that rest isn't a waste of time, is the foundation of insight and emotional strength. But here's the catch. Knowing the benefits doesn't mean you'll embrace them. Because even when we understand how powerful stillness is, we still feel guilty for not being productive. And that is the next battle we need to face: how to overcome the pressure to always be doing. If stillness is so powerful, why don't we practice it? Because we live in a world that worships productivity. From the moment we wake up, we're told to hustle harder, squeeze more into our day, and measure our worth by how much we accomplish. So when you sit down to rest, guilt creeps in. I should be working. I'm wasting time, but here's the truth: rest is not the opposite of productivity. It's what makes productivity sustainable. Without it, your creativity dries up, your energy crashes, and your health pays the price. The Buddha taught that true wisdom arises in silence. The Stoics knew that reflection made them stronger leaders. And modern neuroscience confirms that breaks prevent burnout and sharpen focus. So the real question I send to whether you can afford to rest is whether you can afford not to. And to prove it, let's go deeper into how you can reclaim rest without guilt, and why learning this skill might be the most important step you ever take. So how do you reclaim rest in a world that tells you to always be on? The secret is to start small. You don't need hours of silence or a retreat in the mountains. Begin with micro moments of stillness. 2 minutes with your phone turned off, eyes closed, simply noticing your breath. Or step outside, feel the sun on your face, and let your mind wander without forcing focus. These are not wasted minutes, they're investments in clarity and energy. Think of them as charging your inner battery. Over time, these small pauses rewire your brain to feel safe in stillness instead of restless. Aristotle said that contemplation is the highest activity of the mind. Modern science agrees. Intentional pauses increase creativity, regulate emotions, and improve long-term health. And here's the best part: you don't have to figure this out alone. Because in just a moment, I'll guide you through a simple practice that shows exactly how to experience this hidden power of doing nothing. Let's try something together right now. Look around the space you're in and choose one thing you find beautiful. It could be your pet resting nearby, a photo of someone you love, a plant by the window, or even the color of the sky. Fix your attention on it. Notice the details you might usually ignore: the curve of your dog's ears, the softness of a smile in a picture, the tiny new leaves on a plant, the shifting tones of the evening sky. Don't analyze, just observe. Allow yourself to see with fresh eyes. As you do this, something subtle happens. Your mind stops racing. A minute has already passed, and in that minute, you were fully present. Not chasing thoughts, not solving problems, simply resting. This is the hidden power of doing nothing. And just like you did with this object, you can repeat the same practice with your breath or with the quiet of a garden. Each time you do, you give your mind, your body, and your spirit a chance to reset. What you just experienced is proof that stillness isn't out of reach. It is not about emptying your mind or escaping to a mountaintop. It is about noticing the beauty that is already around you and giving yourself permission to pause. In a world that glorifies hustle, you've just discovered the hidden power of doing nothing: clarity, calm, and energy that no amount of busyness can give. Imagine what could change if you made this a daily ritual. Your stress would soften, your creativity would expand, and your life would feel lighter. That's the gift of intentional rest. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What did you notice in your exercise? Share it in the comments below, because your reflection might inspire someone else. And if this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe, and join me tomorrow for another daily practice to help you live with more peace, presence, and joy.